Welcome to the 2019 F1 Singapore Grand Prix race day review. Sebastian Vettel, after over a year, over 1 year, it was 1 year at Belgium, Spa, that he didn't even win a race, that he couldn't win a race. 1 year, over 1 year, he's come here. He watched his teammates from 2 weeks ago head into Monza, Ferrari's home race in Italy, and he watched his teammate, the young Charles Leclerc, future world champion, take that win. People was having doubts about Vettel. A lot of people, commentators, Twitter, everybody. But he came into this weekend of Singapore focused. They actually showed the eye cam. You see the eye cam when Vettel was in his car, practice and qualifying. The eye cam was zooming up to his helmet where you could see his eyes. The passion, the dedication, the focus Vettel was showing. All the criticism that everybody was showing towards him, all the negativity. He turned up this weekend and he goes, you know what? I'm going to beat my teammate. I'm going to win this race. I'm Sebastian Vettel. I'm a four-time world champion. Four-time world champion. I've won this race 4 times and I'm going to win it for the 5th time. And that's what he did. He came into this Grand Prix focused. He didn't care what the media said about him. He didn't care. When I saw Sebastian Vettel on the Friday and practice session, he had a big smile on his face. He knew something that we didn't know, obviously, because he won the race. You got Charles Leclerc on the side, spitting his dummy. Why did you pick me then? Why did you pick me? Listen, if he was good enough, Charles Leclerc, if he was fast enough today, you would have passed him. You was within DRS zone after the pit strategy. You was within DRS zone, and you didn't pass him, did you? If he was fast enough, you would have passed him. So don't blame the strategy team. You got beat. You should be happy for your teammates. 1 and 2 Ferrari. Ferrari has never had a 1 and 2 here in Singapore. Never. Never, ever. Today they got a 1 and 2. Deserved. Well deserved for Ferrari. Well deserved. Mercedes, nowhere. Nowhere. Where was Mercedes? Nowhere. Bottas was just covering off Hamilton, playing the strategy game. He's there now to help Hamilton win this world title, and that's not guaranteed. That's not guaranteed. Everybody's saying the only way Mercedes can lose is if they have 2 DNFs. That could happen. There's still a few races to go. There's 5 races to go, I think. 5 races to go. Anything can happen. To me, the championship's not over yet. No way. The way Ferrari are going right now, there's still a chance for the constructors, in my opinion. Still a chance for Ferrari to win the constructors. What happens now if Ferrari start winning 1 and 2 every race till the end of the season? And then somehow Bottas probably ends up getting 6. Hamilton gets 3rd. I don't know, maybe 4th. Like today in Singapore. Mercedes didn't even get on the podium. On the podium. I was talking about before mid-season that Ferrari's team should be working at Tesco, pushing the trolleys. That strategy team. Now, to me, Mercedes at the moment, the last 3 races, their strategy team should be working at Aldi's, pushing the trolleys. Hats off to Ferrari. Well deserved. You played it just right. It's very clever. The strategy team today and the 2 races prior was on par. Perfect. You can't fault for Ferrari. They went into the summer break trailing behind Mercedes. It's like the Mercedes was in a Mercedes and Ferrari was in a 1984 Mini Cooper. That's how far Ferrari was behind Mercedes. And look at it now. After the summer break, everyone's going, like me, I said the same thing. The reason why Ferrari are winning it, because the last 2 races, Spa, Monza, because it's straight line speed. I was one of them. I said it. I said it on my channel. I said there's no way after these 2 races that Ferrari are going to win another race this season. That's what I said. But Ferrari turned up to Singapore. They've gone into the summer break. They've got the car right. They've got the handling right. They've got the slow corner speed right. This is the race that Mercedes or Red Bull was supposed to win. Didn't happen. Didn't happen. Ferrari turned up. They kept the mouth shut. They kept the cool. All right, the same before the race. Oh, they weren't expecting it. Yes, there was. They was. They worked hard over that summer break. They put new parts in the car. The car doesn't even look like the same car that it was before the summer break. That car is on fire. Only if they could have got that car like that at the beginning of the season. If only it would have been a great season. And let's face it, this season hasn't been the best season, has it? Come on, let's face it. Come on. Mercedes, 1 and 2 most of the time. Boring. Don't get me wrong, I'm a Mercedes fan. As you can see on my hat. I'm a McLaren fan, Williams fan, whatever. I'm a Formula 1 fan. And I wish at the beginning of the season, Ferrari would have been doing this. So it would have been more close with Ferrari and Mercedes. In my opinion, listen. A lot of people are going to say, look, Lewis, you probably won the title or whatever. Whatever. It's not over yet. But the constructors, to me, is still open. It's still open. Ferrari get 1 and 2 for the next 3 or 4 races, 5 races, like I said. Opens a can of worms. Any team, any of the lot, and Ferrari or Mercedes could win it. If Ferrari start pulling out the 1 and 2s now, and Ferrari and somehow Mercedes drop back 4th, 5th, Bottas ends up getting 7th because you can't really rely on Bottas now. Bottas is there for Hamilton to try and help Hamilton win the title. Bottas could have passed Hamilton today, but the team come out and said stay behind Hamilton. So there you go, deploying team orders. So you know what? That's Bottas's role for the rest of the season, to protect Hamilton, to be a buffer. That's exactly why he's there. But to me, it was all the Singapore races I've seen, this wasn't really that good in my opinion. If you believe it was good, put your comment in below and I'll reply. But in my opinion, I think it was dog shit today, Singapore. 4 safety cars and it didn't mount to nothing. Nothing. Ferrari were clever, not pitting on them safety cars, because they knew if they would have pitted on them safety cars and Mercedes would have went out in front and they would have probably won. But Ferrari done the right thing and the safety car helped Ferrari with their tyres, because I think Ferrari pitted a lot earlier than Mercedes. So Mercedes, especially Hamilton, had 14 laps left in their tyres. They were 14 laps newer than Ferraris. But them safety cars, and 4 safety cars that came out, 3 or 4 safety cars, I can't remember, could have been 8, I don't know. But them safety cars that come out towards the last 25 laps helped Ferrari. Definitely helped Ferrari. But you know what? I ain't taking nothing away from Ferrari. It's well deserved. I'm so happy for Sebastian Vettel. He deserved it. He deserved it. And all the crap he's got from on people on Twitter, in the media, the people on Sky Sports saying it's finished. 4-time world champion, finished. That's what they were saying. He's come out and he proved them right. Proved them wrong. Again, hats off to Sebastian Vettel of Ferrari. And Charles Leclerc, stop spitting out, you dummy. It's a team effort. You got 1 and 2. You should be happy about that. Like I said, if you was fast enough, you should have took him over. If you was fast enough, you would have took him over. And that's it. You was within DRS zone, but it didn't happen, did it? Right. Now I'm going to go through the race. Got my notes here. So we had lights out of the way we go. Good start for Charles. Yeah, I got a drink here. Hold on. Good start from Charles. Came out the blocks. Very good. Very good start. Not a really good start for Lewis Hamilton, but Hamilton still kept second place. He was getting pressured by Vettel. Vettel was pressuring Hamilton for the first 3 laps. Because everybody knows the first sector is Ferrari's main. That's their fastest. Because the first sector is mostly straight line speed. Middle sector is usually Mercedes, but not in this race. Not in this race it wasn't. The middle sector belonged to Ferrari as well. As well. Everybody thought, yeah, first sector is going to be Ferrari. Middle sector, Mercedes is going to catch up. But it wasn't to be. Vettel was pressuring Hamilton for 3 or 4 laps. Hamilton fended him off. Max Verstappen, when they started, he passed Bottas, I think, in the first 2 laps. So I don't know what Bottas was doing. Bottas could have been sleeping. I don't know what he's doing. I'm not sure if he drank too many coffees, because you know what Bottas is like. He likes his coffees. He likes drinking his lattes before the race. He might have drank about 3 or 4 lattes, too many. Could have been shaking. I don't know what he was doing. But Max Verstappen was on the button. Right. Beginning of the race. Now look, Carlos Sainz. If you watch me, everybody knows I like Carlos Sainz. To me, he should have went to Mercedes. He still can go to Mercedes, but I thought the rumours a couple of years ago, Carlos Sainz was going to Mercedes. Carlos Sainz, let's face it, at the moment he's doing better than his teammates, Lando Norris. Lando Norris is a great driver, don't get me wrong. And he's doing good in qualifying, but at the moment, he's kind of like, Sainz is kind of beating him to the punch. Beginning of this race, he gets a puncher. Hockenberg, I'm not sure if it was deliberate. Hockenberg was showing a bit of getting his elbows out, crashed into Carlos Sainz. Done. That was it. Not out of the race, but he lost track position right at the back. Carlos Sainz comes into the pits. Suspension problems, put a new nose on. It continues. Hockenberg comes into the ring. Comes into the pits as well. Boom. Changes his tyres. I think his nose as well. And they continue at the back. So, not a good start for Carlos Sainz. Lap 13, as we're going on. The first pit, lap 13, was Daniel Fiat. He pitched us a 2.3 seconds, hard tyres, which for me was very good. Very good pitch for Toro Rosso. Toro Rosso are not usually the best pitters. It's usually, that goes to usually Red Bull, Ferrari, maybe Mercedes, but not lately Mercedes. I think lately the Mercedes pit line must have been sleeping, the pit strategy, like I told you. Lap 13, like I said, Daniel Fiat gets the pit strategy, tyres, lap 14. Perez puts a hard tyres on, and then Kimi pits on lap 16 as well, puts a hard tyres on. Their pit strategy was 3.3 seconds. So, as it's going on, Vettel pits on lap 20. He puts, he's in the pit, he done a decent pit, 3.9 seconds. And then Max pits after him as well, 2.3 seconds. Same time they come into the pits. Vettel goes in first, Max goes in second. Max gains a little bit of time on Vettel, but Vettel still stays ahead. Because Vettel comes into the pits first, Max comes straight after. Vettel does a 3.9 seconds and Max does a 2.3. And that's the way the grid was. But Vettel comes out in front, Max is just behind him. Lap 20. Hamilton comes onto the pits and says to his engineers, let's undercut him. So I was thinking, there we go, this is where Lewis Hamilton's going to pull out the magic. Mercedes are going to pull out the magic. He's got the cornering speed. Because at the beginning of the race, let's face it, Charles Leclerc was in front and he was blatantly slowing the pack down. That was their strategy, to slow the pack down, to try and preserve the tyres later on in the race. It was working at first, and then coming up to lap 18, we started picking up the pace. Because that's a good strategy for me. If that was me, and I was in front, I'd kind of slow down, because Singapore can be hard on your tyres. Being a street circuit, it can be bad on your tyres. So the first 15 to 18 laps, we're going to try and slow it down, keep the pack slow down, and that's what he did. Lap 20, pace was picking up, like I said. Lewis Hamilton, on the radio, let's undercut him. Lap 21, where the pit chose, and in my opinion, this is where the strategy for Mercedes all went in the shitter. The pit Charles, and Charles comes out behind Vettel. Now, Charles was throwing his dummy, he was throwing his toys out of the pram. So, moaning on the radio and saying, what did you do? What did you do? Why did you have this strategy? He expects Ferrari to be on his side all the time. It is 2 drivers in a team, not 1. Listen, calm down. I know you won the last 2 races. You won Monza. You won Monza. Ferrari hasn't won Monza for over 10 years. Ferrari went to Italy, Monza, and won it. You won Spa as well. Vettel hasn't won a race in over a year. Calm down. You're young. You got loads of time ahead of you. So he starts moaning on the radio and saying to the Ferrari strategy, what are you doing? What are you doing? Why are you doing this to me? Why did you pick me then? And now I'm behind Vettel. But like I said at the beginning of the radio, if you're that good, Charles, get him. Because you had 2 DRSs, but you still couldn't pass him, could you? So if he was that good, I know you're a good driver, but if he's that good on the day, you would have passed him, but you never. Now, this is where Mercedes' strategy, like I said, went in the shitter. Soon as they pitted Charles Leclerc, I think the lap after, they should have pitted Lewis. But they never. They kept Lewis out there. Lewis said prior, he says, lap 20, let's undercut them. So what they should have done, the keys, what Hamilton wanted to do is, as soon as they pitted Charles, he goes for a fast lap and then goes into the pits and tries to undercut. But they never. They kept Lewis out there at extra 8 to 10 laps. No good. And then it was over, in my opinion. I thought then, in my opinion, I think when it got to lap 23, 24, for me, Vettel was my favourite. I thought Vettel's going to win this race. The only way Vettel's not going to win this race is for somehow the safety car comes out, which there was safety cars, but pointless. If the safety cars come out and then somehow Hamilton or someone jumps into the pits, gets the nice tyres on and try and take advantage of that, that never happened. But if that never happened, I thought Vettel's going to win this race. I thought they kept Hamilton out too long. They should have pitted him the lap after Charles Leclerc. Try and go for the undercut. Hamilton was on the telly just now, on the TV, talking to a Sky commentator saying, I told Mercedes, right, that in the briefing room, I told the Mercedes we should go for the undercut. And we would have beat them. But obviously, it never came to, it never happened. Like Hamilton said, they didn't listen to him, and this is what happened. They shouldn't have kept Hamilton out at extra 8 laps. Their tyres were buried. There was no way. I knew then he's not even going to get on the podium. No way. So when he came out, he went into the pits. Lap 22, Lewis said so, yeah. On lap 23, the pit Bottas 2.9 seconds. And he came out, put the hard tyres on. Lap 27, 7 laps later, 6 or 7 laps later, the pit Lewis Hamilton put the hard tyres. It was over. He came out behind Max. It was all over. There was no way he was going to get through that pack. There was their strategy, Mercedes' strategy was that they're going to try and rely, hope and pray that when the 2 Ferrari boys run into traffic, that they're going to lose time and Hamilton can catch them up. Come on, boys. Come on. That was your strategy for today, that they're going to run into traffic, Ferrari. And then the traffic was going to hold them up and Mercedes was going to catch them up. That was their strategy today. Hoping they need to fix. Not good enough. Not good enough. Lap 34. Now, Giovinazzi here. To me, I don't rate him as a driver. Formula 2 driver, never rated him either. They brought him in Toro Rosso. They brought him into Alfa Romeo. Ferrari. He's a Ferrari junior driver. They want an Italian driver in the future winning the title, the Drivers' Championship with Ferrari. Now, to me, Giovinazzi, he's not the man. He's not the man. The guy was a liability. He was cutting into Daniel Ricciardo. He was cutting off Sainz. His tyres were dropping off the metal. I don't know why they didn't put him in a long time ago, but they didn't. He was out there with his tyres slipping, sliding. danger. It was a hazard. Crashed into Ricardo, messed up Ricardo's race. Ricardo dropped 4 places because of him on the corner on one of the sectors. He was all over the place, Antonio Giovinazzi. And then to me, he ain't no Ferrari driver. Ain't good enough. Not in my opinion. Lap 35. Hard tyres. Giovinazzi comes in. Pits. 4.9 seconds. Terrible pit. Lap 36. Grosjean tangles with Russell. Russell's out the race. Safety car gets deployed. Now, this is what Mercedes was relying on. I probably thought, you know what? Safety car comes out. Ferrari's going to pit. And then we'll stay out and try and get track position. But it didn't work out that. Ferrari knew exactly what they was doing. And Ferrari knew they was 2 steps ahead of Mercedes for the whole of the weekend. They knew exactly what they was going to do. They said, right, that ain't going to happen. We're going to stay out. Why should we pit? Even though our tyres are 8 laps older, why should we pit? Safety car's going to be out. Safety car's going to be out for about 4 or 5 laps. So that's going to help Ferrari. Why would they pit? This is what I'm saying about Mercedes. Your strategy was all wrong. All wrong. Lap 42, Stroll gets a puncher. He comes into the pits, puts his hard tyres on again. For me, I would have put the medium tyres on. They put the hard tyres on. I would have thought, why put the hard tyres on? You only got 20 odd laps to go. You might as well just put the medium tyres on. Try and catch up, try and get decent points. But they never. They put the hard tyres on Stroll. I thought that was a bit dodgy. Lap 44, safety car comes out again. Perez's car, his engine just completely stopped. Just stopped. Second safety car comes out again. Ferrari again, not pitting. Why should they? Why should Ferrari pit? It's lap 47. It's lap 47. No, it's lap 46. Right, lap 46. Why should we pit? If we pit, Mercedes gets track position. We've lost the race. It's all in favour for Ferrari. Why? Because their tyres are older, exactly, they're older. But as long as the safety car comes out, it's preserving their tyres. So Ferrari, like I said, there was 1 step ahead the whole of the race. Lap 50, Fiat bumps into Kimi. Kimi gets a broken suspension, not happy about it. Fiat was a reckless renegade. Reminds me of Fiat a couple of years ago when he was with Red Bull. Bit of a reckless renegade, but I saw the incident. I thought it was a racing incident. He didn't deliberately try and hit Kimi. He was just one of them. He was just overdrive the car, bumped into Kimi. Kimi got suspension problems on his car. Another safety car come out, pointless. Nobody pitted. It was just continued safety car. Like I said, if you watch the race, it was one of the all the Singapore races. It's probably the worst one in my opinion. The worst one. And that's it really. The race went on. Hamilton tried to make a last ditch to try and get onto 3rd place, onto the podium. Didn't work. Max Verstappen fended him off. He got DRS 3 times, I think, Lewis Hamilton. Still could pass him. It's just one of them tracks. You get in the dirty air, you ain't getting nowhere. So that was it. And at the end, Vettel won. Leclerc still throwing his dummy. I don't know why. You got second, man. You should be happy with that. 1 and 2 Ferrari. They've never ever got a 1 and 2 in Singapore. They've got it. Now Vettel has won this 5 times. More times than anybody. Hamilton's won it 4, Singapore, and Vettel's won it 5. So a little bit of confidence now for Vettel. Hopefully when Vettel goes into Russia, Sochi next week, one of my good tracks. Next week they're going to Sochi, Russia. That he continues that momentum into Russia, because it's been nice to see Vettel win again. You know, they go, what more can this guy go through? What more can the guy go through, man? He ain't won a race in a whole year. Over 1 year, and he finally wins a race. And then you got Charles Leclerc, the little kid with his little dummy throwing his toys out of the pram. Doesn't want to accept it. Just like when I saw him in the cool down room. Charles weren't having it. Didn't really want to engage in his teammates. You know what I mean? He didn't even want to engage. Chill out, man. You went to Monza, you won Monza, man. You're a national hero now in Italy. You just can't give Vettel his moment, man. Little kid, still showing his immaturity there, showing his youth. You know what I mean? Vettel, congratulations. I'm so glad Vettel won it. He deserved it. I don't care. He deserved it. And if he wins Sochi, he wins Sochi. Good. I'm happy for him, man. Like I said, with me, I'm not biased with no one. If someone deserves it, I'll say it. I've always said that on my channel. If someone deserves the win, I'm gonna give them props. I don't care if it's me. I don't care if it's Ferrari. I don't care if it's Williams. I don't care if it's any of the teams. It don't matter. I don't care if I don't like him or not. I do like Vettel, but even if I didn't like him, I'd still give him credit. I'd still give him credit. He deserved it, and that's it. That's the end of the review. So, let me see if I can get some audio stuff on here about some interviews. I'll show you how the race finished. Yeah, Sebastian Vettel won. Hold on. It's Sebastian Vettel 1, 2 Charles Leclerc, 3rd Max Verstappen, 4th Lewis Hamilton, 5th Valtteri Bottas, 6th Alexander Albon, 7th Lando Norris, 8th Pierre Gasly, 9th Nico Hülkenberg, 10th Antonio Giovinazzi, 11th Roman Grosjean, 12th Carlos Sainz, 13th Lance Stroll, 14th Daniel Ricciardo, 15th Daniel Fiat, 16th Robert Kubica, 17th Kevin Magnussen, and the DNS were Kimi Räikkönen, Sergio Perez, and George Russell. Now, let's have a look at the Drivers' Championship. You had the top, Lewis Hamilton, 296 points, gained a point today on Valtteri Bottas. So, basically, you know, I think that's what Mercedes' strategy is going to be now. Is try and keep Lewis as high as possible finish, but Bottas finishes behind him. Because obviously Bottas was the only one what really is challenging him. Maybe Charles Leclerc's coming up a bit. He's on 200 points, but we'll see what happens. Lewis Hamilton, 296 points. Second, Bottas, 231. Charles Leclerc just 31 points behind Bottas in third. Fourth place, Max Verstappen, same points as Charles Leclerc, 200 points. So that'll be close to whoever finishes atop above. So with Charles and Max, that's the battle for third, really. Or could be the battle for second. Charles Leclerc and Max Verstappen both tied on 200 points. Fifth place, Sebastian Vettel, just 6 points behind the two, 194 points. Sixth place, Pierre Gasly, 69 points. Seventh place, Carlos Sainz, 58 points. Eighth place, Alexander Albon with 42 points. Ninth place, Daniel Ricciardo, 34 points. And 10th, Daniel Fiat, 33 points. 11th place, Nico Hülkenberg with 33. 12th place, Lando Norris with 31 points. 13th place, Kimi Räikkönen with 31 points as well. 27th and 14th place, Sergio Perez, 27 points. 15th, Lance Stroll, 19 points. And 16th place, Kevin Magnussen, 18 points. And 17th, Roman Grosjean with 8 points. And Antonio Giovinazzi, 18th, 4 points. And 19th, Robert Kubica with 1 point and 20 points. George Russell yet to score points, even though he's out qualified and finished higher than Robert Kubica in every race bar one in Germany. He's still got no points. So, let's have a look at the team. Mercedes on top with 527 points. Second place, Ferrari, 394. Could Ferrari mount a good challenge at the end? You never know. It's not over yet with the constructors. It's never over till it's over. Third place, Red Bull with 289 points. And fourth place, McLaren with 89. Fifth place, Renault, 67. Sixth place, Toro Rosso, 55 points. Seventh place, Racing Points, 46. Eighth place, Alfa Romeo, 35. Ninth place, Haas with 26. And Williams, 1 point in 10th. Now, let's have a look at some audio, some interviews. I usually put some interviews on here if you watch me. Sorry, I got a cold. Any interviews on here? No, not at the moment. So, yeah, no interviews. But, yeah, to me, it was a good race. But, yeah, that's it. It's over. Vettel won it. Congratulations to Sebastian Vettel. Well deserved. Max Verstappen getting a nice third for where he came from, which is good. And also, Sebastian Vettel got driver of the day. Congratulations to Vettel. So happy for him. Imagine that not winning a race for a whole year being Vettel. And watching your teammate win the last two races, get 3 poles and win the last 2 races. That must hurt. And finally got this win. I'm happy for him. So that's it, yeah? So, this is my race day review over. This is Solo P1 Saturday night of the 2019 F1 Singapore Grand Prix race day review. So, see you next week in Sochi, Russia, He's one of my. He's not in my top 5, probably top 6. I love this track. It's kind of a bit of a power track, and he's got corners as well. So it's going to be interesting to see when Mercedes is going to come. I think Ferrari's going to be, to me, Ferrari are the favourites to win that. It looks like they've got the car perfect. Yeah, it's not just straight line speed anymore. They've got the cornering speed as well. I'm not saying they've got the best cornering, but it's good enough. So to me, the favourites to win that. Looking at the way it is now, I think Ferrari may be the favourites to win that. Maybe Hamilton can probably try and get in between the two Ferraris. But I think there's going to be a Ferrari driver to win that race, in my opinion. Maybe, if there's anyone outside of Ferrari, maybe Max Verstappen, because Max Verstappen's good here. Even Bottas is good at Sochi as well, but I just think it's going to be, I reckon, if I had to make a prediction now, I'd say first, I reckon it's going to be Vettel. Second is going to be Bottas, and third, maybe Hamilton. That's just my opinion. So this is Solo P1 signing out of the 2019 F1 Singapore Grand Prix race day review. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Follow me on Twitter. Follow me on Twitch. Follow me on Instagram. See you later, guys. Bye.